Hello and welcome to this new video on how to design useful objects with SOLIDWORKS xDesign. Today we will design some cable clips to hold cables. I use this all the time, for example to keep my phone cable at hand so it doesn't fall on the ground. I also use these clips to hold LED strips in several places like my desk or my 3D printer. So as always, I start a new component in xDesign with a new name and I select a plane to start my sketch. I draw some lines and arcs to define the clip shape and see how easy it is to switch from a line to an arc just by going back on this extremity with the mouse. You get a tangent arc at your fingertip. As you can see, it also works on an arc, so you can chain several tangent arcs, saving a lot of clicks. I define overall shape, then dimensions. This first dimension of 32 scales all the sketch, which is great when you have a sketch with arcs connected with other entities as we have here. I add all relevant dimensions and I then move some entities to see what are the remaining mobilities. Here we see this line needs to be forced horizontal. This arc needs to be horizontal too and measure 180 degrees. So I align those 3 points. As you can see, this is enough to turn sketch entities from blue to black. This means they are fully defined. We will take care of the last blue point at the last extremity later. In the meantime, I will create some material from this sketch, and to do that I will choose thin extrusion, which gives a thickness to an open sketch. I select entities one by one and see that system stops when geometry would intersect itself with this 2 mm thickness. I just choose thin midplane to balance material on each side of the sketch, and now it works. Changing dimensions would have also solved this issue, of course, but this is too complex for me right now. Now I would like to add a full round fillet at the end, but I want this fillet to be aligned vertically. Because you know I don't like adding complex equations, I will do this very simple with this circle that mimics what will happen, and by construction, fillet cannot be anything else than vertical. This is what I like with xDesign, it makes complex simple for me. I also want this sketch to adapt on the thickness if I change it in the future. I like parametric models for further changes. So I add a parameter for thickness, and I also add this value in thin extrusion. Each time I do that by pressing on equal key, and it starts equation system where I can select value of available parameters. Simple. And I link this parameter to a circle size. I need to divide by 2 because the value is the radius, of course. So now changing thickness value will change size of the circle and thickness of thin extrusion at the same time without risk of error. I already told you how important this is to think about those details. Now I just need to add a full round fillet at this extremity, selecting these 3 faces, and next step is adding a hole to fix this cable clip. To do that I use hole without with a 3 mm countersink hole, and as I forgot again placement geometry, I create placement sketch directly from the feature. Design. I put mouse on round edge to display center and put a point here. It will be used for the hole, and that's it, part is done. Now you know the rest of the process, but this time we will choose side face to make sure no support is needed. This will reduce printing time and save a lot of waste material. Next step is slicer your 3D printer, and this time we will duplicate the part several times because it's so useful. I want many of these parts available. As always, now is printing time. I can now secure several cables, enhance my LED strip setup, and make sure all my cables are handled correctly. If you want to have more information on how to use SOLIDWORKS xDesign on 3D Experience, visit solidworks.com/makers and subscribe today. Thanks for watching.